It was a cold night in early 2024. The wind blew gently but carried a deep chill that made people shiver. In a small town far from the busy city, strange things began to happen. Residents reported soft whispers coming from dark corners of old buildings. No one knew who or what made these sounds. It was as if voices from another world were calling out. One night, Mr. John, a local shop owner, was closing his store when he heard a faint whisper behind him. First, he assumed it was the wind. But the voice was clear and soft, saying, "Help me." Mr. John paused and looked around. The street was empty, yet the whisper repeated. A mix of fear and curiosity pushed him to follow the sound into a narrow, dark alley. The air grew heavy, and every step felt dangerous. The end of the alley, he discovered an old door left slightly open. A dark shape moved behind it. With trembling hands, Mr. John pushed the door open and entered an empty room. Only old furniture and a single cracked mirror greeted him. The broken mirror reflected the weak light from outside. Its cracks looked like deep scars. Suddenly, the soft whisper turned into a sorrowful murmur that filled the room. Mr. John felt drawn to the mirror, as if it held a secret he could not ignore. In the glass, he saw a pale, sad face with eyes full of pain, a face that was not his own. The soft voice repeated, "I am lost, I am trapped." Mr. John's heart pounded, and he could not understand how a face could speak. Yet, the voice was real, and the chill in the air confirmed it. This single moment would forever change his life. Word of Mr. John's experience spread quickly through the town. Neighbors began whispering about that eerie night. Some claimed they too had heard voices in the dark. Others swore they saw shadows moving when no one was around. Soon, the entire town was gripped by fear. People locked their doors early and avoided dark alleys at all costs. The mystery deepened as more testimonies came forward. A few young people reported seeing a ghostly figure in the town square, and an elderly woman recalled feeling a cold hand on her shoulder as she walked home one night. Every whisper, every flicker of shadow carried its own secret. Town slowly realized that something was deeply wrong in 2024. These voices were a call from the past, a cry for help from a time long forgotten. Mr. John's experience became a symbol among many true stories that year, one that would live on in the local lore as one of the 10 scariest true stories of 2024. 4 days after that night, Mr. John could not shake the image of the sorrowful face or the sound of that whisper. Each night when he closed his eyes, he heard the voice calling again. Neighbors began searching through old records and asking the town's oldest residents about the strange sound. They learned that many years ago, a young woman had died under mysterious circumstances. Some believed she was wronged, left to die. Others thought she was hidden away due to a forbidden love. No one knew the truth, but her spirit seemed to reach out for help even now. The local newspaper printed a simple article titled "True Story: The Whispers of the Past." The words were plain and clear, so even the children could understand the deep fear hidden within. Soon, the story spread beyond the small town. People compared Mr. John's experience to other strange events in 2024, wondering if these voices were part of a larger mystery unfolding in the world. Night after night, more whispers were heard. Some residents reported hearing them from outside their windows, while others claimed the sound came from the empty park. Though the recordings of these voices were never clear, the soft, haunting sound in the background could not be ignored. With every retelling, the legend grew. Each whisper became a hook that drew listeners deeper into the unknown. Thus, the night of the whispering shadows became a turning point. Taught the town that sometimes the past is never truly gone and that every sound in the dark can have a secret story to tell. As you turn the page to the next chapter, remember, every quiet voice may hide a truth waiting to be discovered. Chapter 2: The Abandoned House of Echoes. In the summer of 2024, a group of close friends discovered an old, abandoned house on the edge of town. The house had stood empty for many years. With broken windows, a creaking door, and a weathered exterior, it looked as if it held deep secrets. Rumors had long circulated that the house was cursed. People said it held the memories of dark and painful times. What happened inside that house soon shocked everyone who heard its story. One hot evening, the group decided to explore the deserted building. Their hearts beat fast as they walked along the cracked pathway leading to the front door. The door hung loosely on its hinges, and its wood was aged and worn. As soon as they stepped inside, the floor groaned under their weight. The air felt thick, heavy with memories. It was as if the house was holding its breath, waiting for them to uncover its hidden past. Inside, they found a long, dim hallway lined with old portraits. The eyes in the paintings seemed to follow their every move, filling the silence with an eerie presence. Suddenly, a soft echo came from one of the far rooms, a gentle call that whispered, "Come here." One of the friends, Mia, felt a sudden chill down her spine. The echo grew louder as they advanced, urging them further into the depths of the house. They soon entered a large room with a high ceiling, cluttered with broken furniture and scattered old photographs. In the middle of the room lay a small table with a dusty, open book resting on it. The book told a simple story of loss and regret. Every so often, the echoes in the room seemed to repeat the words written on its pages, as though the house itself were narrating its tragic tale. Tom, one of the group, read the faded words aloud. As he spoke, the echoes grew louder, repeating in a soft, rhythmic tone. The story recounted a family that once lived there, a family struck by a terrible fire that had claimed many lives. The room filled with the lingering pain of that fateful night. The friends felt an overwhelming sadness and a growing fear, as if the house were sharing its most painful memories. Outside, the wind began to howl. In that moment, the house appeared to come alive. Walls whispered long-held secrets, and shadows danced along the corners of the room. The friends tried to leave, but the door had mysteriously closed behind them. They were trapped inside the House of Echoes, their fear mounting with every creak and every soft sound. Each echo was a hook, drawing them deeper into the dark history of the place. Huddled together, they could feel the temperature drop as the presence of lost souls grew stronger. Shadows moved slowly along the walls even though no living person was there. It became clear that the house held memories that refused to fade away. The echoes were not random noises. They were the voices of a family lost to time, each word carrying a weight of sorrow and regret that none could ignore. As the night deepened, the echoing voices filled every corner of the room with messages from the past. They spoke of a fire, a tragedy, and of a family that still sought justice from beyond the grave. The friends, though terrified, felt an unexplainable pull to learn more. The mystery was simple yet powerful. The house was a keeper of painful memories, a silent witness to history. Through what felt like endless hours, the friends finally heard a door creak open from the back of the house. It was as if the building itself was releasing them. With trembling hands and pounding hearts, they moved toward the sound and found a narrow exit. Cool night air was a welcome relief as they rushed outside, yet the echoes of the house stayed with them. That night, in the quiet hours, they could still hear the soft call of the past, a true story of fear that would never be forgotten. In every whispered echo and creaking floorboard, the abandoned house reminded its visitors that the past holds secrets that can reach out and change the present. As you read on, remember that every shadow and every sound can be a hook to a mystery you might never fully understand. Chapter 3. The Vanishing Driver on a Lonely Road at the Edge of a Bustling City. A strange event unfolded in 2024. It was a cold, clear night when many drivers spoke of a red car that appeared on the old highway. The car was bright red and shone under the streetlights, yet its presence felt out of place. Eyewitnesses described it as moving slowly along the dark road, until suddenly it vanished as if it had never been there. The story began with a call from a local truck driver. While on his regular route, he noticed the red car ahead. The vehicle was unusual on such a quiet, empty road. As the truck driver slowed his pace to observe it, something odd happened. The red car seemed to dissolve into the darkness. The truck driver slammed on his brakes, his heart racing as he watched the car fade into nothingness. The sight was both mesmerizing and terrifying. Soon, more drivers reported similar experiences. They said that on certain nights, the red car would appear for only a few moments, accompanied by the fleeting image of a man behind the wheel. This man, with a tired and sorrowful face, was seen just before the car disappeared. His eyes told a story of deep regret and unspoken loss. Despite many attempts by local police to trace the car, no physical evidence was ever found, only the accounts of startled drivers. The mystery of the vanishing driver soon grew into a local legend. First, people whispered that the red car was a ghost, a spirit of a driver who had met a tragic end. Others claimed it was a sign, a warning of dangers that lurked in the night. Simple words like "I saw it" and "it vanished" spread rapidly among the community, each retelling serving as a hook that deepened the intrigue. Local authorities and curious residents even held small meetings to discuss the strange sightings. These gatherings, everyone used plain language to describe what they had seen. "I saw the red car," one driver explained simply. "And I swear I saw a man with sad eyes inside it," another added. The stories were told again and again, each time adding a new detail, a soft glimmer here, a fleeting shadow there, that only made the mystery stronger. As weeks turned into months, the vanishing driver became one of the scariest true stories of 2024. It was a story that made people cautious on dark roads, always looking over their shoulder. Even when the red car was not seen, its legend lingered in every turn of the highway. Every time a driver caught a glimpse of red in the distance, a chill would run down their spine. Truth behind the disappearing car remained elusive, leaving behind only questions and a deep, unsettling fear. In small roadside diners and quiet service stations, conversations about the red car became common. People wondered if the driver was trying to send a message, if his sad eyes were a warning from beyond. The mystery was simple yet powerful: a ghostly red car, a fleeting figure, and a night that changed everything. Each account served as a hook, ensuring that the tale would be passed down for years to come. Even now, on quiet nights along that lonely highway, drivers sometimes pause in their cars and listen to the silence. They remember the night when the red car appeared, and they wonder if it might come back. The vanishing driver remains a stark reminder that sometimes the truth is hidden in the simplest of sightings, a sight so fleeting that it can change the way we see the dark roads of our lives. Late one night in 2024, another true story sent shivers across the nation. This was the story of the phantom caller, a phone call that arrived in the dead silence of midnight and left behind only a chilling message. When the phone rang, the call was answered by nothing but quiet static. And then a soft, low voice spoke clear, "I am here." Those simple words were enough to make hearts race and minds question what was real. Sarah, a young woman living in a small apartment, experienced the phantom call one quiet evening. While reading by her window, her phone rang. Caller ID showed an unknown number. With a simple hello, she answered. After a brief pause, a deep yet gentle voice whispered, "I am here." The voice carried an indescribable sorrow, and Sarah felt a sudden chill run down her spine. In shock, she quickly ended the call, unsure if she had imagined the sound. But Sarah was not alone. Soon, others in her neighborhood began to report the same strange call. One by one, they told the same story: a call from an unknown number, a brief moment of eerie silence, and then the unmistakable simple message, "I am here." Some heard the words as a soft whisper, while others claimed the voice was almost a shout. No matter the volume, the message was the same, and its mystery deepened with every retelling. Local telephone companies tried to trace the number but found nothing. Calls did not match any known source, and their origin remained a mystery. Even the police were baffled. Despite extensive searches, no evidence of a real caller could be found. Instead, people were left with a lingering question: who or what was reaching out in the dead of night? The phantom caller soon became a topic of hushed conversations. One elderly man believed the call was a warning, a message from a lost soul trying to share a final secret. A young student thought it was a reminder that not all voices are meant to be heard, and that some come from a realm beyond our understanding. In every household that experienced the call, the words "I am here" turned into a hook that kept them awake at night. As the nights passed, the calls grew more frequent. Sometimes the call came when the listener was alone at home, other times it interrupted a quiet gathering. With every call, the tension built, and people began to wonder if the voice was trying to communicate an important truth. Was it a spirit from the past? A messenger from a place where sorrow lived? The simplicity of the message made it all the more powerful. In small groups and over phone calls, residents discussed the phantom caller in plain, simple words. They recalled the cold silence of their phones and the soft voice that had spoken to them. Every retelling deepened the mystery. The unanswered question, "Who is here?" hung in the air like a dark cloud. The phantom caller did not offer any clues, only a steady, haunting presence that made each recipient question the safety of their own home. Even now, as midnight nears and the world grows quiet, many listen intently for that familiar ring. The phantom caller remains a true story of 2024, a story that continues to draw listeners with its simple yet spine-chilling message. It is a reminder that sometimes the most frightening truths are hidden in the softest of words.